whatever else cliche I can use. So please give Danny Susan and Kevin McKinney a warning.
First of all, thank you all for inviting us. This is really an awesome time for what Danny and I have been working on, and to come here and speak to y'all, ladies, gentlemen, guests. Just want to say thank you for that. Does everybody have one of these pamphlets? And if you don't, I will make sure you get one. Okay.
Same one. Any one of these are alumni supporter registration.
Like Joe said, yeah, I played baseball. I'm probably the oldest one in here of our baseball group. I came to Denton in 1977 to attend school, and I saw a schedule in the North Texas Daily, which you're on the high school team in the newspaper. And it gave a travel schedule of 60 games, and we were playing Nebraska, Oklahoma, SMU, Tech, Baylor, TCU. I mean, we were traveling, and as a kid out of East Dallas, I thought, man, what a great way to travel. I had no idea what club team meant, nothing. All I knew is I was going to play baseball and go places. I played for 4 years. I'll tell you, I was pretty stinking good at it. I got offered scholarships from Texas Tech and SMU my freshman year to transfer. My girlfriend said she didn't want to, and I ended up marrying her, still married to her 40 years later. But the club teams back then played varsity teams. We played the regular teams, and we were really bad my freshman year. We were in the newspaper. We were across the country. We were 0-33 before we won a game, but we played D1 scores. The next 3 years, however, we won 30-something games, and we continued to play Pan American every year, opened with them. We played at SMU until they dropped their program. We played TCU every year, Dallas Baptist. I mean, we played them all. It wasn't like we were playing other club teams. Today, the North Texas baseball team is a club team, and they play other club teams. I think they have 2 games. They're going to play at Denton High School. They're playing SMU and A&M, I think. Oklahoma at Bronco Stadium this year. They've left Mack Park. Danny, myself, and 5 other guys put together this little group for one reason only, to bring awareness to the community and to the school of the need to have D1 baseball. We are not affiliated with UNT other than we went there, we played there, and we support UNT athletics big time. We have had meetings with the admin. We have meetings with the athletic director, the new athletic director, Jared. We have been told, and I hope I'm not stealing all your thunder.
No, you're good. You're good.
We've been told straight from the man that the next men's sport added will be baseball. But their number one priority in the athletic department is the athletic center. I'm not sure if y'all know what I'm speaking of, but it's a $40 million renovation that will add a bigger weight room, more facilities inside, from training, tutoring, education, housing, and they currently are busting at the seams. They do not have enough room to add any more sports. When this comes down, $20 million needs to be raised by the community and boosters and then the school will match the $20 million, and they'll start work on that athletic center. After that, the only way to guarantee baseball is next, and before any other facility, et cetera, is to get a stadium. Currently, I've had some conversations with the North Texas Fair Rodeo, and they've got 100-something acres out here north of Denton, and about a joint effort, raising some funds, putting in a stadium that'll be used as a event center, baseball for D1 baseball, D2 baseball, minor league baseball, high school playoffs. We're working with a couple of different groups on this. It's in just the thinking, there's nothing on paper, but we've had some conversations. Our little group has worked for 6 months.
6 months back since August.
Again, we're not trying to field a team. We're not trying to build a stadium. We're just trying to bring awareness, and through meetings like this, passing out T-shirts at the homecoming game, talking to people, hollering at Brett, trying to bid on social media. We've gotten almost 2,000 followers on social media. I think 1,500, something like that, 1,600. We've raised $25,000 just to do giveaways, just to promote ourselves. But the most exciting part about our group is that we've actually met with the powers to be, and we feel that we're closer than ever. In 77, Hayden Fry was the coach, and he was trying to get UNT in Southwest Conference. We got shut down. Baseball got dropped, or not. They wouldn't even add baseball after that. He went to Iowa. Then they got in the Southland Conference, and that's when Danny showed up. And I'm gonna turn it over to Danny, let him go.
Yeah, I came to North Texas in 1985. We had just started the program in 84. So it lasted 5 years, from 84 to 88. I'm one of I think there's 3 of us that were 4-year veteran. And I started as a freshman. I went to UNLV my freshman year in 1984. I was recruited out of Boswell High School over in Fort Worth. And my brother was going to school here at North Texas. And he said, hey, they just started a program here. You can live with me. You can play right away. I know, So I was like, okay, let's do this. So I ended up coming to North Texas, had the time of my life. I mean, was able to play, Kevin said we played Texas A&M, we played Oklahoma, we played Oklahoma State, we played Arkansas, and all the top ranked teams. Now we did have to play on the road a lot because a lot of people didn't want to come to Mac Park because we had a small little city park field. But if you guys will look back on our website, you can see the history of our baseball program. We're trying to reach out to more and more of our alumni. That's kind of why I brought this. We want you guys as supporters or alumni of the university, if you guys want to join, with us as supporters, jump on board with us, go on our website, look through there, you'll be able to see some old box scores, you'll be able to see some old team photos. Our alumni guys who haven't, come back here to the university in 30 years, since we dropped the program, 35, some live in Santa Barbara, California, Illinois. Steve Cottage lives up in New York. He was one of the best players we ever got, played with me in 85 for TCU. He was all conference, batted like 360 something, shortstop for us. You'll see a picture of him. But the biggest thing we want all the support from you guys is to let the university know that, hey, we need baseball. Baseball is gonna, I feel it's gonna, be an important part of university moving forward for all of our athletics. Kevin and I, we've got season tickets for football. We have season tickets for baseball, basketball. We're going to do it with softball. We're reaching back to our alumni guys and saying, hey guys, we need you guys to jump back in and support North Texas again. Because what's happened is these alumni guys who, we don't have an alumni game to go to. We don't have, baseball games to go to. Like, I'd like to see, I've got 2 grandkids. I'll speak to Kevin here, but I'm sure he's like me. We want to be alive when they bring us back. We like to be the ones that helps throw out that first pitch. Yeah, we know that there's some obstacles, and we know, the university has a 20-year plan. But the reason we kind of started this, Doug Rush is our president. He pitched for us. Doug was kind of he was able to build the foundation with Kevin. He was on that club team. Then he was also able to play his first couple of years when we went D1. And biggest thing that we're trying to get our guys to say, hey, look, can you please donate some money? Can you try to reach out and find that big donor? So that's what we're trying to do. Hopefully, down the road, if that one big donor can say, hey, yeah, I'll help you guys with the athletic center. Here's a big pile of money that I'd like to see used for baseball. That can kind of get, ball rolling. And, like Kevin said, our meeting with Jared went very well. I don't know if you guys know this, but we just hired an associate athletic director that was took Jared's spot, and he came from Dallas Baptist. You guys all know how good Dallas Baptist is in baseball. When we played them, they were NAI and they were one of the top programs. Now they've been one of the top programs here in the Metroplex, with TCU and then of course UTA. But what I'm asking for you guys today is on the alumni registration. If you played any sport here in North Texas, you're an alumni, please fill this out. If you're just a supporter, please fill this out as well, because what we want to do is we want to keep you kind of in the loop with us. We'll send an email blast to you. We'll have a newsletter coming out. We have a letter from the president every month that Doug puts out. Also, you can go on our website and look through there, but you'll also see a season ticket pledge. Okay. I kind of came up with this season ticket pledge. I'll give you a little bit of history about, since baseball is not here in North Texas, one of my teammates, 1988, he pitched for us. His name is Skip Johnson. Skip played here at Denton High School. He's one of the best players here to come through that school. Him and Tim Tadlock. Tadlock coaches Texas Tech. Skip coached the University of Oklahoma. So I'm a season ticket holder. I went to all the games last year when they made that College World Series run. I was with his family, and we got to talking. And even in Oklahoma, they don't have the support for baseball like they do football. So we know, football drives the bus. We know that. But what we want to do is we want to show the university, and Jared liked this idea too. We want to get as many pledges as we can for season tickets. And we just started this about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We're over 220 season ticket pledges. We want to get that number to over 1,000. So that way the university, when they're ready to bring baseball back, they say 3, 4, 5 years, they say, okay, we're ready to bring baseball back. Here it is. We're going to turn over our database with, your name, your phone number, and your email address. If you play for 4 tickets, or you play for 2 tickets or 10 tickets, you're going to be one of the first ones that they're going to reach out to and say, hey, we see you on this pledge list. Would you like to, be a season ticket holder? Now's when they'll ask you for your deposit. We're not taking any money. Or like Kevin said, we're not affiliated with the UNT at all for what our North Texas Mean Green project's all about. But this is going to really help, because when we can go in there and meet again with Jared, or hopefully in 6 months, we can say, Jared, we have over 1,000 seats pledged. And, we've also talked about stadium, like Kevin said. If we did have a stadium here, let's say we had a minor league park, we had somebody that, put one north side of Denton, that would expedite our process, because then the university could just do a small little practice field. The baseball players and the team could play there, do all that for practice, and then you have a venue. I don't know if you guys know this, but Nebraska has a minor league park right there by the University of Nebraska's Memorial Stadium. So there was a collaborative there with the city, the county, and the university to put a stadium right there for minor league. So the university doesn't have to own that, and now it expedited them for them being able to play their games, because you don't have any overlap, basically, because you've got from February to May for your college schedule. And then the minor league parks usually play from middle of May through August. So like Kevin was saying, there are some things. Matter of fact, Kevin didn't even know this, but I got a phone call yesterday from a gentleman who owns a team in Australia. And he said, Danny, we want to meet with you guys. He said, because I have a sports investing group that would possibly like to see what you guys are doing on development. Because it's crazy. Kevin and I also met a week and a half ago last week with some gentlemen that came down from Minnesota who own minor league teams up there, and they built the stadium and the infrastructure. Now, if you guys remember, there is a team in Cleveland.
It was the Grand Prairie Airhogs.
Yeah, and the Grand Prairie Airhogs.
And there was a group that was working with the city and the school to put a stadium over just southeast of the square, and bring it and build a minor league baseball stadium. And they were going to bring in a minor league team, and Donnie Nelson Jr. was part of this group. And they were going to buy the Grand Prairie Airhogs, bring it to Denton, build a stadium. And when Donnie Nelson got fired from the Mavericks, and he put a lawsuit together that went up in smoke, Donnie Nelson's now in Hawaii, and my buddies that were part of that group are just, it's dead in the water. But we did meet with this independent league who has grand ideas of putting a league in Texas and Oklahoma and building a stadium, but they don't have land, they don't have any investors, they have an idea. But this idea is working with now the rodeo group and some of the politicians on putting it part of that county right now. and that's a fact. So.
Yes, sir.
I was curious, couple questions. One, has there been any thought of thinking, NCTC's baseball program's brain or who built their stadium? I mean, they've had one of the, they've had a really good, Yugo baseball tradition. And then, secondly, my second question is, so really the only thing is just the stadium, because I know there's, you have that equal amount of men's programs,
Yeah.
programs, and
Yeah.
it sounds like.
We discussed that with Jared.
And the deal is they had a meeting, before Ren left, and they were talking about what women's sports they would have to add when they added a men's sport. And they came up with about 3 or 4 different sports to meet the Title IX, to make it equal. And so our meeting with Jared after Ren and Seth left was, okay, what sport are you talking about? Is it this, or this? And they said baseball. And they do have to add sports to make it equal. The school is not gonna do anything about starting a baseball program until that athletic center is built. And so everything that Danny was talking about, season tickets, supporting the school, telling your friends, your neighbors, ex-alumni, there's 225,000 alumni of UNT living in Dallas-Fort Worth alone. I mean, if they gave $5 each, I mean, think about it. I mean, so I don't understand why we're not getting as much support. When they decide to do this, like I said, the athletic center will be built, then they'll have to have a stadium. The school, Jared told us that they have the funds to support a team and put a competitive team on the field. So it's not about the money to run the team or have the team. It's basically the facilities to house, teach, educate, and the facility to play. So that's why at the same time they're building that and working on funding that, we're trying to work around the scenes and generate some investors and a group to build a stadium. So we'll be ahead of the game. Because there was a movie, I don't know if anybody saw it. If you build it, they'll come. I mean, it's a dream. I want to see baseball back, just like Danny does. We put this brochure together. On the inside, it's our board of directors. You may recognize some of these names. Doug Rush pitched at Denton High. He's coach at Tomball, Texas. They've won the state high school championship. Danny Suges, you're meeting him right here. Brant Bomar's dress shop or clothing shop. He's a local boy, played at Denton High. I played with him, myself. Brad Anderson, boys out of North Carolina, and played 1 year.
Freshman year, 85, and he was freshman of the year.
And then Jim Chambly, I don't know if y'all know him, but his dad runs a sports ministry out of Denton High School and First Baptist. And Jim actually played for the Boston Red Sox. So we got an eclectic group trying to do this. It tells a little bit about us. It talks about support us. Here's our GoFundMe deal. Our social media that we have, Facebook, our website. And like I said, there's some photos and some pictures on this, but feel free if you want some more of these, let us know. But the main message here is that support UNT. Tell your friends, look at our website. Danny's got this brochure. If you don't want to do it online, you can fill it out.
And we'll register you.
Pledging for seats doesn't cost a dime. It's basically showing the athletic department that we can fill a stadium, which I don't think there's any problem. They want to put a competitive team on the field. And in North Texas alone, and I wish I had these stats down pat, but I'm gonna say it like I know. I think in every classification for the last 3 years has come out of North Texas, high school baseball, state champion or runner up. And I think that's Argyle's done it 2 out of 3 years.
South Lake Carroll,
Prosper. We got Grapevine, Colleyville Heritage. I mean, there's players here. I told Jared, I'll guarantee you 2 things that will be in the College World Series when we put baseball in at UNT before the football teams in the playoff system. And I told him also that we were probably the best 2 baseball players to play at UNT.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Do I have another one of these?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
I do. I got them.
Sure.
Yeah. But the exciting part about it is, you guys might not know this, but like 85, we beat Oklahoma when they were number 5 in the nation. And the next year we beat A&M. Then in 87, you guys can look it up, 1987, they would not play us. Oklahoma State would not play us at Mack Park. They made us play them over at UTA. We beat them. They were number one in the nation. They went on, they were 7-0 when we beat them. They went on, won 31 straight games, went to the College World Series, and were runner-up that year. So just the excitement knowing, like Kevin said, baseball could be instantly competitive. You know, every high school coach in the state of Texas wants this job. Every one of them wants this job. They all, you know, and we always thought, you know, there's Skip at Oklahoma. He wanted this job back in 2010, 11, 12. He was the pitching coach for Texas for 10 years. Brett might know this. I'm sure he was involved and remember this, but back in 2011 and 12, there was a big push. Rick Villarreal and several people, and we almost brought it on. We were close. We needed about $10 million at that time, but then there was some stuff that kind of happened in the county and Mercer office. And I said, okay, well, let's put this to the side. But we thought 10 years ago we were going to bring it on and bring it back. But the biggest thing is we need y'all support. If you do know anybody that loves baseball and says,